Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Gfinity. It is, of course, Championship Sunday. My name is Chewy, and I'm joined here by Mr. Dave the Rave. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. There's been some amazing games today, and right now we're about to cast the Casters match.
We are indeed. It's going to be a bit of fun. We've actually got Fwiz, Hastro, Mr. X, of course, the Complexity coach, and Madog, who is the coach from Envy, going up against Mr. Rel, who I believe is actually wearing some sort of Batman outfit right now. He's definitely wearing something silly. And then we've got Tunny, Bryce, and of course, Mr. Benson.
Yes, Benson, who is so determined to win this, you guys wouldn't believe. That's
unreal.
all we've heard since Friday evening is, oh, we got to win the Casters match. We got to win the Casters match. Make sure you look out for Rel. I'm sure Rel is planning something. I think.
I know. I don't know what's going on, but
we don't.
Rel's going to try and scare them. I think it should be an interesting one. Of course, they are, I believe, only playing one game. But there we go on your screen. Rel is actually wearing a Batman costume. He did tell me yesterday that he was going to be wearing something that impaired his view, and with those horns and everything and that hood on his head, it definitely is, but maybe it'll give him Batman powers, and we'll see what he can do. But we have also got some scoop on some of the casters and some interesting information which we can tell you about as the game goes on. I believe we're going to be playing on standoff, or we may be choosing something a bit different. It is only going to be a best of one, so it's going to be a hardpoint game on the map standoff, which is brilliant to see. Now, if you missed it in Gfinity 1, of course, which was in London back in July time, I believe, we did see the EU casters win it. I think it was a very close game. They actually only won it by about 2 seconds or so because the European casters started to celebrate before the game was over.
Yes, there was about 20 seconds left. You guys can watch it. I'm sure it's all over YouTube.
Oh, it'll be on the VOD, I'm sure,
everywhere. So you can go back and watch it, but there was about 20 seconds left, and Benson and Bryce, they all stood up and were like, wait, let's go.
Throwing abuse at Puckett.
Throwing abuse at Puckett, and they were like, what are you doing? There's still enough time left in the game to win. So, yes, exactly. What are we playing? We're changing everything.
Oh, there we go. We're going to Slums, actually. It looks like we're
on Hardpoint.
Probably having a discussion about what map they want to play. There you go. On your screens, you can see Slums Hardpoint is going to be the map and the game mode. And you can see there, interesting gamer tags. Tunny the Slayer without the E is in there. And, of course, you have Bat Rel in his Batman costume. Fwizzy F, baby.
Bat Rel.
There we go.
There it is.
I think it's going to be an interesting match. But you've got to think about it. You know, if we're taking this seriously, the EU guys have got a big task on their hands because you've got the likes of Hastro on there. And Mr. X is an absolutely phenomenal player. So they've really got to play out of their skins for this. And I know Benson is pumped. He does not want to lose this. He will never, ever hear the end of it if he does.
Honestly, he cares more about this than what happens the entire weekend. I'm fairly sure.
No
definitely. I think Benson's a little bit hurt as well because, let's face it, there's only 2 proper casters on the US team.
Yeah, well, I mean, he wanted Fwiz to play, Mr. Puckett to play really badly. But look at that. They're getting ready to go. And yeah, I have to say, Puckett was going to be playing this, but Puckett decided not to play.
Puckett ducked out.
Shame. He did duck out. He didn't want to lose to Benson. He was scared that he was going to lose to Benson, it seems. So Puckett decided not to play indeed, but I'm sure they're just getting their classes ready and set up to go, and it should be an interesting one. But on to serious business before this silly game starts up. We have 2 absolutely massive semi-finals coming up. Of course, the first semi-final, I believe, will be Complexity versus Envy. That is going to be massive. If you did miss it, Complexity managed to take out Infuse in their quarter-final match, and Envy took out Unite in a thrilling game. It was absolutely so close in their one. So I think they were both 3-2 games, so they just managed to scrape through. And then what's the semi-final 2, Dave?
It's Epsilon versus TK, our best European hope versus the American Giants TK, who have been playing phenomenally this weekend.
They have indeed. It looks like we're going to be starting up this game, though. Here we go. Slums Hardpoint is the map and the game mode. Let's go on board with Bat Rel.
I want to see how his vision has been impaired. I want to see how his vision has been impaired by the bat. So you know what? I do a Batman impression.
Oh, please don't. Let's leave that for after. Because,
come on.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people watching. I want to see them embarrass themselves.
Want to see them
Let's not embarrass ourselves.
So are they going to be taking it seriously? That is the question. This is, of course, matches don't matter. Benson is...
He's even brought his headset and everything.
He brought his headset and his controller with him, ladies and gentlemen. So he knows he goes in as Rel gets the kill on Fwiz straight away there. And we'll jump on board with Benson, who is taking this, as I said, very, very seriously.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be playing passive at the minute. It's just seen somebody there towards that mid-map section. That is double D section, but he gets taken out straight away. Obviously, the nerves affecting Benson straight away. He needs to pick up his game if he's going to do anything. And there we go. We do see him getting that horrible spawn back towards Laundry, so I'm sure he's going to be shouting at his players, asking them why he's just got that spawn. But already, the US casters with a very good start so far. And you do see Madog there. He's going to pick up one. No, he doesn't. He does get taken out there towards Blue, but I know you have some interesting scoop on the casters. So
I do. I've been going around all day to find out what makes those casters tick and some embarrassing moments to share with everybody at home, which we will definitely be getting onto in a little bit of time. But there are things like Tun. If we move on board with Tunny, the so-called Slayer, as he runs through blue there, Tunny has in fact requested a 5-star hotel and a chopper for G3, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever the next Gfinity event is going to be. We're not sure what it's going to be called yet, but he has requested a 5-star hotel, a meal at the Ritz, and in fact a chopper to take him to the next event. And he was being very serious about it, I have to say.
Why does that not surprise me anyway? But look at the score right now. The EU casters do need to do some work if they want to come back into this game, and the US casters are doing some great work to be able to lock this down. And the US casters, a 50-point lead or so far, playing incredibly well. Fwiz is on the hard point right now. Let's see what work he can do. He's going to be using this. SMG does take out Tunny there, who tries to challenge onto the hard point hill. Not going to do so, but look at that time running down here. Only 19 seconds before we do rotate right to the other side of the map, and we are going to be rotating over towards the junkyard hard point, and they have got a lot of work to do, the EU casters right now, who are just about to break through into the double figure. Marcus Benson gets completely owned there. Benson, pick up your game, my friend.
Yes, Benson is not going to be happy with that. Of course, he does spend all of his time looking in the mirror at home. He needs that comfort in himself, ladies and gentlemen. He needs to know that he looks, or what he thinks looks the best, as Cole gets taken out there, Mr. X. Did you know that Mr. X has in fact been asked to star in a Tom Cruise movie?
Really? That's very interesting.
He was playing. He's supposed to be playing the geeky sidekick was his role.
Okay, well, very interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Our information is that I've been doing this properly. I've been doing my research.
But anyway, on board with Mr. Madog, who is, of course, the coach from Envy. He must be, oh my gosh, Mr. X just went absolutely massive. Staying on board with Madog, though, because this guy is on a 6-score streak right now. He's so close to that Hellstorm missile, and that is really going to demoralize the EU casters. If he can do that, he does indeed. He just picked up that Lightning Strike and that Hellstorm missile, still getting the absolutely beautiful spawn, who is anchoring for them. That's going to be Hastro. Unfortunately, as soon as I jump on board with him, he does get taken out. Gets a reasonably good spawn, though, over towards that junkyard section, and this is already starting to run away from the EU casters. They are not having a good time at all.
We have seen nothing on Brycey right now. Brycey's in the hard point right now, but we have seen nothing from him, and it's a bit of a shame, really, because I know he cares about this. He was saying beforehand, and apparently, you know, Brycey had to borrow some hairspray this morning. Did you know this?
He had to borrow some hairspray.
He ran out of hairspray. He bought a new bottle for the entire weekend, and he ran out of it on the first day, and he had to go to our makeup lady, Jess, and get a whole new bottle of hairspray just for the second day.
That does not surprise me one bit at all. Of course, Brycey does get taken out there again. Benson's still doing some work, though. He's on a 3-score streak. Let's see if he can do some work and try and push into the hill. They have got control of it, so the EU casters have done some good work here on this garage hardpoint. He's not going to take out Mr. X, though. Benson, where is your good gun skill, my friend? Because that wasn't very good at all. He gets taken out of the hill entirely, and Mr. X is going to be there around that back alley section. 11 seconds before we do rotate over towards the next hardpoint hill. Of course, we do go right back to the start again. Mr. X doing some work. This guy is a phenomenal player as well as a phenomenal coach. Astro calling in those streaks, though, ready for that rotation to the next hill, taking out Rel and Tunny. Let's have a look at the scoreboard right now. Tun, what's going on, my friend? 7 and 16. We've got 8 and 14 there from Brycey. Everybody pretty much apart from Fwiz is positive there for the US casters, and Mr. X is just having a phenomenal game.
Well, Fwiz is doing not too bad, actually, considering he does, in fact, cry during the notebook, is what I have been told. He also gets manicures and pedicures very, very regularly, according to iJustine. So, I mean, that is something not to be proud about when you're trying to play in the casters match.
Very manly,
it's not very manly. I know that Fwiz won't be happy with that, but Benson as well. Like, he is going to be so upset with the way the score is going right now. Obviously, his skill does not precede his After Effects skill, clearly.
Okay, let's have a think about this. What is Benson going to blame this loss on? If they lose this, what is it going to be? Is it going to be the map? Is it going to be the game? Is it going to be lights shining in his eyes?
It will be Rel. It will be the team. It will be Rel. It will be the sensitivity, which he could, of course, change, but he won't. There's so many things to blame on. Look at that Envy coach. Look at that Envy coach go. Look at that score. That was absolutely amazing. 23 kills as Hastro is sponging bullets like the sponge that he is. Finally gets taken out by Tunny. Tunny on a 4 kill streak right now.
This is big time here for the EU casters. Great kill there from Tunny. This guy is already impressing on a 5 score streak, and he has picked up that Hellstorm missile, deciding to call it in straight away and also dispersing it straight away. Interesting to see if that's going to be a good choice. He does take out 2 players. That is going to be Madog and Fwiz going down there, who were going to try and push in, and this is key time here for the EU casters. They're still getting in really good spawns there. Somebody trying to push in through that mid double D section. Fwiz is going to be pushing in there. I think that was, yes, it was Fwiz indeed, but he did get taken down. Brycey with a 2-piece using that Scorpion, still on board with Tunny though on a 7 score streak, and this is the time for the EU casters to come back into this, but with only 10 seconds left before the hardpoint hill does rotate back towards Junkyard. They've got to still do some big work.
I think Tunny definitely needs to up his game if he wants that 5-star hotel, because I mean 7 kill streak and then got taken down really easily in the overswitch there, as Brycey gets a beautiful headshot on the Envy coach as he moves him on around to that hardpoint. He needs to get on there. There's only 60 seconds between these two teams right now, but right now the US team looks like it's pulling ahead.
It does indeed. Somebody's actually going to be on that anchor position. That is Benson, who's doing some work there, trying to get the spawns for his team, and we just have seen the Envy coach Madog just spawning out. So that's great work from Benson, and there we go. The EU casters have got spawns. Can they come back into this game? Wiz is doing some great work to lock down the hill there. Does pick up 1. Is he going to be able to pick up the second? Gets a lot of hit markers. He's going to need to get some support there. That looks like Tunny, who's going to be able to push into the hill, taking out Fwiz and getting control of it. Tunny is definitely the best EU caster playing right now. If anybody wants any gratification of that, it's true, but Hastro is using a sniper rifle. Oh my gosh.
Hastro is obviously being very confident after losing probably a lot of money on the casinos this weekend. I have a feeling he spent more time in here than he has at Gfinity, but Hastro getting taken down by Brycey. Hastro using that sniper and then switching to an SMG. Who knows what's going on here? It is, of course, all fun. This is the casters match, as we said, but the US teams pulling ever so slowly ahead, and I think it's going to go to the US team, which Benson, of course, will not be happy about.
Brycey just went for the knife there and unfortunately did miss it, so he was on a 6 score streak, has earned that Hellstorm missile, so we'll see if he's called it in, but he's got to be careful he doesn't take out his own player there, and only gets 1 with that. The other 2 players did hide. His team do have control of the hard point. Let's switch on board with Benson, see if he can pick up his game, because, you know, we've got to put Benson on blast. Hashtag blame Benson. He's not been doing too well so far. Score is 202 to 137.
Yes, that hashtag blame Benson will be riding strong on Twitter
please
right
do
now.
Just keep tweeting that out.
Please, if everybody use at Gfinity hashtag blame Benson, that would be that would make our day, ladies and gentlemen. But Benson not having the greatest game right now. It seems to be Rel and Tunny. Brycey is actually in the hardpoint right now with a 3 kill streak, which is a change for him. I know that he'll be looking at his hair in a phone somewhere and playing at the same time. That does take skill, ladies and gentlemen. That takes so much skill, and he's on a 5 kill streak right now. He must have put his mirror down, so he's obviously going in hard.
He is indeed. Let's have a look at the scoreboard once again, see what is going on. Rel has dropped to the bottom of the leaderboard, so his vision, is definitely impaired. But have a look at those defends. We see 6 defends there from Fwiz, so definitely playing well, even though he is dropping negative. But the Envy coach Madog is actually 35 to 21, so already dropping over a 30 bomber. These guys. Tunny doing some good work for the EU casters. Rel definitely needs to pick up his game. Benson, as always, is going negative. So let's see what Rel can do in the hill.
Oh my god, Benson will not be happy with that. And he will, of course, blame everything other than his own skill. That is the unfortunate thing. But it doesn't matter.
Benson's fault,
it's never ever Benson's fault, although I did say hashtag blame Benson. It doesn't matter. As the US team are controlling this middle hard point, Cole is going on an absolute steamer right now. He has got all of his streaks. I know Mr. X has got all of his streaks. He's got that death machine. I'm sure we'll be seeing that before the game's over. Although having said that, there's not that much score between them now. Actually, the EU team seems to have managed to caught up a bit. The UK team, sorry.
Well, I believe they need every single second on here. They need to hold this down if they are going to come back into it. It may just be out of their reach. I actually do believe it could just be out of their reach, as Mr. X picks up an absolutely huge 3-piece there, taking out Brycey, Rel, and Tunny. That looks like it could be over. There we go. Benson is down. All 4 of the US casters on the hill. They have taken it. The EU casters have lost, showing that the US casters are completely dominant on this. They have redeemed themselves after G1. Mr. X just going absolutely massive, spamming that death machine right there. Barely see it anymore. He's not going to decide to conserve his ammunition, unloading it all. And you have to say, it's all Benson's fault, let's be honest.
Hashtag blame Benson. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your casters match for today, and it goes to the US team. They're Look
at them on the
Fwiz
screen.
is standing up. He will not take, and they will never let them forget this, will they?
No.
Oh, God, that will be forevermore.
Please don't say it's a knife kill cam on Rel. Oh, my gosh, is it going to be a knife kill cam? Shanking Rel in the back. That just describes it. There we go. They are good friends, of course. Shaking hands at the end, but a 42 bomb there from the NV coach. Mr. X dropping 37 with 10 defense. Just a class above the UK and EU casters. But, they decided to drop Gucci before this, and I think now that they need to drop Benson for Gooch because, as we said, it's all Benson's fault. That's it.
I do think that Benson could have played a lot better. Then look, he was.
How many points did he get?
We can forgive Rel for wearing that. We can forgive Rel for being blind half of the time. But Benson, he had his scuff controller. He had his headset. Everything was going well for Benson. He was like he was at home. He was like he was playing at home, which is of course your most comfortable environment. And he just didn't bring anything to the table, ladies and gentlemen. He choked.
Benson chokes on the main stage. He's just putting that out there. He's not going to be a happy man. It'll be interesting to see what his mood like after this. But we hope you have enjoyed the casters match here. It's been a pleasure for me and Dave to come on just for our final game of Gfinity 2 and have a laugh. Obviously, just a bit of informal fun. Of course, we are going to be moving to the serious business now. We have the semi-finals coming up. It is going to be Complexity versus Envy coming up. Of course, huge match. Now, Dave, what are your predictions for that going to be?
I feel that Complexity are the stronger team. After that last match, Envy didn't do well. They didn't do as well as I thought they would have done.
Did you think they were going to take that more convincingly? Because a lot of people thought that Unite could take that. But
yeah, I thought Unite were going to take it at one point. But I have to say, Complexity have looked strong. Apart from their very first game, which I did cast over, they were sort of getting into the groove, and as soon as they got into it, they just started slaying left, right, and centre. I do think Complexity are going to win. But what about Epsilon versus TK? Our best hope for an EU victory is Epsilon, of course. The three big American teams, Complexity, Envy, and TK, and Epsilon are the only ones in there from the EU.
Yeah, they are indeed. We do hear the actual casters coming in behind us right now into the production area. Very happy that they have won that game. I'm going to call, I think Envy could just about take it. There we go, Fwiz coming in. He's the best. He's going to come on the camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is so happy. Oh, Fwiz. Oh, dear me.
Oh, wow. There we go. That's just to show that it was a bit of fun.
It is a bit of
a laugh.
Yes, everybody here are great friends. It is absolutely fantastic being here, of course. Don't worry, there is no harmful words going on about the place. As Astro comes in as well. Oh, God. Even though Puckett wasn't playing, Puckett's looking so very happy right there. Yeah? Good job, US team. Well done. But anyway, we're saying Epsilon versus TK. Who is going to win that? I want Epsilon to win, but I think TK have been one of the strongest games, one of the strongest teams at this tournament so far.
I think TK are just going to take it. Obviously, being EU, being UK, we do want to support Epsilon, and they are an incredibly strong team. Tony's not happy. Tony's coming into shot right now. Tony's not. Tony,
go away.
You did well. You did very well. What are you going to say to us?
What are your thoughts?
Speaking to the mic.
You know my controller? You know what happened before when we were playing?
Yeah.
Happened again. He's
blaming the controller. That's a kind of Benson excuse. That's a Benson excuse.
Can we get Benson in here? Can somebody get Benson in here so we can blame Benson?
No, you played very well.
You played very well. Yeah, you did. You were the best. You had the highest score out of both teams.
Don't blame Tony. Tony played
Don't
very
blame
well.
Tony. Tommy was the slayer that time. He actually played very well indeed. As you can see, he is. Well, you can't see, but he is top of the table actually of all the teams. So,
but I mean, I'm going to call it. I think I'm just going to call it. I don't know, because Complexity are your G1 champions. They're also your MLG Anaheim champ. Oh, that's a
that phase. Come here,
Benson.
Come here, Benson. Please come in. Tell us what happened. What happened, Benson?
Benson, yeah, come on. Put on the headset and come and tell us what happened, my friend. You got destroyed. Wow, he actually admitted it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a world first coming from you live at Gfinity. It isn't Benson making excuses. That is the biggest upset of the weekend.
Maybe not quite. Maybe in our own heads, but
I think it is. I think that is the biggest upset of the weekend. That he is blaming nothing but himself.
Yep, indeed. But anyway, right. Quickly back to business. Yes. I'm going to call Envy to take it, just because I love the Envy guys. Complexity are your G1 champions, of course. They are your MLG Anaheim champions, but Envy have been looking incredibly strong, and they are going to be riding so high after that Unite win. And then I'm just going to say TK can pick it, but it's going to be a close one, guys. We are going to be going to an advert break though. This is me and Dave signing out. Thank you so much for tuning in to Gfinity. Please do not go anywhere. We have got a lot more action coming up. Thank you for watching.
See you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is Puckett and Fwiz.
Yep.
And we are ready.
Oh, I'm ready, baby.
Woo, chip boy!
Are you guys ready? This is the G2 Grand Finals. We have the top 2 teams, 1 American, 1 European.
Again!
Who is going to win the crown this time around? Complexity versus Epsilon. I think a lot of American fans out there expect to see Complexity, but no one that I've talked to leading up to this event expected Epsilon to be in the final 2.
Yeah, I feel that the Europeans often are counted out of these situations, but you know what? That's both times they've showed up here at Gfinity Epsilon, this time at Gfinity 2. They actually played really well against Complexity, but ultimately when they played earlier, it was 3-1. However, a big point to point out there is Epsilon beat them game number 1 in Hardpoint. Hardpoint is also Complexity's best game type. They're known as being one of the best hardpoint teams in the entire world. Oh my gosh!
And there is the forfeit. That is the punishment for the caster challenge that happened earlier today. Benson was training for months.
I beat him. That's why I was like, Benson, you need to know I'm a better Call of Duty player, a better caster, and sometimes you just got to put people in your place.
And a slightly better dancer.
Not
by much, though.
Not by much, but that pie to the face is everything that I needed.
Look at the smile on Hastro.
He probably enjoyed it more than everybody else here.
And the fact that Brycey got to give it to his fellow European caster.